It's very important. I'm sure you understand the principle of trying to make sure that Parliament knows first when departments are making statements, and one of the reasons why the copies of the review are hot off the press is because we have to make sure that it's laid in the House as soon as members sit on a sitting day, and it is available to you on the website. As soon as you get home, you'll be able to download a copy. So it's trying to make it as widely available as possible. And just to say how very much we've enjoyed undertaking this review and meeting so many of you and coming out to see the facilities that you have, understanding the issues that you face, because the government is on a mission to transform the economy with your help, from one of waste inefficiency to a greener, more sustainable model. A model that supports strong business investment, a model that creates the right conditions for innovation and entrepreneurs to flourish, where cleaner technologies are developed, resources are used more efficiently, and where the pattern of our daily lives is an active part of improving our environment and safeguarding it for future generations. How we handle our waste is an important element in all of this. We want to move people away from thinking about waste as simply waste and somehow unavoidable or somebody else's problem, to recognising waste as a resource, one that can offer real economic value. A view many in the waste industry have been articulating for some time now, and something that was really brought home to me the other day when I visited Veolia's landfill site at Rainham, where I saw windrows of high-quality compost that had been generated from the garden waste that they collected. The quality of that compost is something that people will be quite happy to pay for, I suspect, when they go to the garden centre this weekend. It's easily generated from something that we would throw away. So a prime example of turning waste to resource. Being smarter about what we do about waste and how we can reduce it in the first place is the theme that runs right through our waste review. In essence, it talks about a new approach to waste, one where we change the way we think about consumption and the way waste is produced, one where everyone has a role to play: business, consumers, local and central government, you and me. For those of you in the waste and resource sector, I hope this review gives you the confidence to be ambitious, to invest for the long term. We want to help you grow the market for waste materials. There will be significant growth opportunities for collection, recycling, reprocessing, and recovery of waste. We project growth in the waste sector to be 3 to 4% per annum, and this review puts energy from waste in its rightful place, keeping waste out of landfill and contributing to renewable energy. A theme underlined by today's publication, at the same time, of our anaerobic digestion strategy. A strategy detailing a shared commitment from government and industry that will help this industry grow. But to maintain this growth, we require regulations that are proportionate and fit for purpose. Heavy-handed, ill-thought-out rules just stifle innovation and competition. So we want to make sure that this doesn't happen. We want to remove the barriers to growth. We want to establish the right infrastructure, and we want to create new value and new jobs, enabling business to exploit the opportunities created as technological advances break new ground, creating the right climate to make long-term changes. So take landfill. We've already said that the landfill tax will continue to rise, but we want to be clearer about the need to push waste away from landfill. Why should things like wood, metal, textiles be buried in the ground? Is that really the best we can do in the 21st century? No. That's why we're going to start by consulting on a ban on restrictions on sending wood waste to landfill. And we'll also start to work on a comprehensive evaluation of doing the same for other materials such as textiles, metals, and all biodegradable waste. All of this is about creating the right environment for the resource management industry to thrive. Business and society also have a proactive role to play here. Rather than simply leaving it to others to handle their waste, the best approach is not to produce it at all. And if we can't prevent it, then we should recycle it. We need to make it easier for everyone to do the right thing. That means helping people make the right consumer choices, making recycling easier through the right collection mechanisms and product design. It's all part of an environmental contract, if you like, where government, local authorities, industry and individuals all play their part in creating a more sustainable way of living. In line with that, voluntary responsibility deals are a powerful tool for changing behaviour. We know that. They encourage competition and stimulate innovation. So building on existing deals like Courtauld, we are working on new voluntary deals in different sectors, such as hospitality, to further drive waste prevention and recycling. Some of the best initiatives, I think, come from business and their employees. Take the reusable sofa bags used by Argos and Homebase for delivering furniture, for example. Or from my own experience, when I visited a B&Q distribution centre in Burton and saw the reusable packing that they used to transport worktops, an idea that actually came from the employees themselves. All business should have easy access to recycling. It will also keep their costs down. As research I published earlier this year showed, making better use of resources could actually save British business around £23 billion a year. That's why we've been working with the Environmental Services Association on a deal to get SMEs to take up more recycling. It goes back to my essential point about making it easier for people to do the right thing. Local authorities and households have played their important part, in getting recycling rates up. A fourfold increase in household recycling rates over the last decade is a real achievement. We were a back marker in Europe a while ago, and now we're much closer to the front of the pack. But there's still more to do. We want to up the pace. A step change is required from the current throwaway society towards a zero-waste economy. That means local authorities working together with householders, not against them. Current enforcement powers are disproportionate to offences being committed, and the public have a sense of fairness or unfairness about this. It's important to adopt a more balanced approach, which respects civil liberties and concentrates enforcement on individuals and businesses that are persistent and deliberate offenders. We need to target the fly tipper or the illegal landfill operator, not the law-abiding householder who just happens to put the wrong plastic carton in the wrong bin. We should clamp down on defiantly antisocial neighbours who allow the waste up to build up on their property, causing a nuisance to others, not the hard-pressed parent who accidentally puts the bin out on the wrong day. For that reason, we're introducing a new amenity test to deal with genuine nuisance. And for that perennial bugbear of littering from vehicles, I'll be calling together a summit of key players to see what more can be done to prevent it. And we'll be monitoring closely the efforts in London to apply civil penalties to motorists who litter. We want to help local authorities refocus their waste collection efforts to meet their community's needs. So we're looking to reduce the administrative burden on local authorities, reducing the amount of information that's required from them. We're also looking to alleviate the legislative burden and propose to end the landfill allowance trading scheme in 2013. When it comes to waste collections, we understand these are totemic services for many householders, and they deserve regular and reliable collections of their waste. So with the local government group, we've developed a new recycling and waste service commitment for councils to sign up to. This commitment sets down the principles councils will meet in designing and delivering their collection services. They can be judged against it by their residents. We will continue to help local communities develop the right local solutions for collecting and dealing with household waste. And this includes meeting the reasonable expectation householders have for weekly collections of their smelly waste. There is no one-size-fits-all for the design and delivery of household waste collections. But this government has actively dismantled so many of the measures which pushed councils into cutting weekly collections, such as the Audit Commission's way of marking down councils who didn't adopt fortnightly collections, and the local authority indicators on residual waste imposed by the last government. And in its place, we'll be working alongside those councils who wish to reinstate weekly collections, advising on how recycling rates can remain high and scrapping measures which encourage councils to cut scope of collections. But it's not just government and councils who have to step up to the plate. We all have a role to play. As a society, we still throw away a massive amount of material. Each of us throws away an average of 450 kilograms of waste every year. That's about the weight of an Aberdeen Angus cow, and you might expect a DEFRA minister to make that comparison. With aluminium cans selling at £900 a tonne, and even old newspapers at £120 a tonne, should we really be throwing so much valuable material away when much of it ends up in landfill? Astonishing, really, given that times are hard and that the household purse is under so much pressure. It's hardly a sustainable use of our natural resources. Nor does it help us combat climate change. For many of us, when it comes to rubbish, once it's out of sight, it often equals out of mind. So this waste review aims to change that perception. We want everyone to start thinking of waste as a resource. Then we will really be on our way to a zero waste economy. Not only will this benefit our environment, but our society too. Thank you very much.